Hey guys, what's up? This is JK from the Baseball Rebellion. Got a little game film breakdown of a kid that I work with here in person in Durham, North Carolina. And his dad sends me great video all the time, and I just want to share it because here's a kid that works really hard, and he's a kid that I enjoy working with every day. He comes in, he's always got a smile on his face, and is a joy to have around, regardless of baseball. He's just a good kid, and he deserves all the praise in the world because he works hard. And the thing about this kid right here is he actually plays multiple sports. We talk about all the time how beneficial multiple sports are, especially if you're young. Now, obviously, if you get into later high school and you have potential to play one sport really well as opposed to multiple sports, average, then that's something a little different. But this kid can play all different types of sports right now, and he actually plays hockey, which is really cool. But anyway, let's get into the swing here. Let's go ahead and play it through for you one time right here all the way through, and you kind of see how he moves. Now, this is not like any sort of record-breaking blast or anything, but just kind of for his size. I mean, he's an undersized kid right now, playing against kids that are much bigger than him. The field's getting bigger on him right now, and I get a lot of coaches that say, how come you try to teach undersized kids to hit the ball over the fence? And it couldn't be anything further from the truth. What we try to do here at the Baseball Rebellion, online and in person, is we try to reach potentials. We try to raise ceilings. So this kid right here might not ever be able to hit a ball 450 feet, but we can find out how far he can hit it. And if that's a double, then that's a double. If it's a single, then it's a single. Now, I would say most players, having been taught the right mechanics and have the right aggression levels and attitudes and things like, a single is not the best they can do. But sometimes, we talk about launch angles and exit velocities, and there's like this big mix-up in kind of what is being taught by organizations like the Baseball Rebellion and others, and we're just trying to maximize these kids and help them reach whatever their full potential might be, and that could be anything from being a varsity starter to a professional player to just making the team sometimes. So this guy right here does a great job of a couple of things, and really the things I want to highlight are just kind of how he gets ready, and then really what he does such a good job of here is timing up the opening of his hips, having the bat and everything in a position to have success. So he does a great job of number one, opening that front hip towards the camera, really starting from the back hip though, and opening his front side. You can see it's not perfectly open towards the pitcher, and again, that's not going to happen every time, and most times it probably won't. But what you're going to see is this position here amongst a lot of great hitters, where his head is back over his back knee. His barrel's still kind of above his head. I know it's kind of tough to see with the angle on the bat, but you can really start to see his jersey kind of wrap around his side right here, which I think is a really cool shot. You can see his jersey wrinkles right there kind of around his waist, and I can zoom in just a little bit for you here. And you can really see that belt buckle turning towards the camera here. You can really see that crunch in the back we like to talk about to get the shoulders on plane, and you can really see that pull down back here in the back that's going to get the barrel accelerating very quickly from where it started at the top, and he's able to get his shoulder down and underneath this pitch, and you can see the barrel start to come in the way between the catcher's mitt and the baseball here. And then with a phenomenal job of just footwork and execution, this kid, like I told you, has been coming to us for a while. You can see his front leg really drive back. You can see it really push his front hip back towards the catcher very, very aggressively. You can see his back foot moving at the same time. Almost perfect timing with all of this. I mean, you can't really get any better. And again, the thing that he does really well here is he really fights to keep the knob high the whole time, so he doesn't let his arms drop. He does all the turning and the angle adjusting with his shoulders and his tilt, and then he comes around with the knob high and continues his very best. And again, he's not as strong as he's going to be yet, and he's fighting gravity, and he's fighting the forces of gravity and the ball coming in. He does a great job of keeping the knob high, driving up through the baseball, so he's trying his very best to continue to go up and not let the barrel kind of go down. I mean, it's a little bit level, and it's not going to be over his head here, but he's able to really get in a good position behind the ball and drive through it. So you can see the catcher's mitt here, and you can see I like stopping it somewhere right about here where you can see everything kind of line up, and where the ball is coming in and the bat and the catcher's mitt all kind of lining up on the same, almost exactly the same plane. So he's able to really transfer a lot of his energy created from his turn, created from his load, his stride forward, to really crush his ball. I think this was a double. His dad said a double into the gap, which is what we try to do. We try to train kids like Nick who are a little bit undersized to just blast balls and gap trying to hit it where they're not. I mean, basically it's as simple as that. So to say that we're trying to get undersized kids to hit the ball over the fence, well, yeah, I mean, if he does eventually run into something over the fence, that's phenomenal. We just want him to hit as hard as he can, and if that's in the air, if that's lower, if it is on the ground, sometimes just hit it hard, and then obviously train him to pull the ball into the into the gap as much as possible, and also to the backside gap if he's pitched out there. But just a phenomenal job of a lot of things. And I wanted to give him some credit here of a kid that works really hard. You can see him at contact here, just a beautiful head back position over his back. His back knee is actually past his head here, which is just really good to see. So yeah, anyway, great job by this guy right here. He's a fun player to work with, and I hope you guys learned something from this. Thanks.